realise we don't do this often, but it's a pit stop. Couldn't find a sushi, so large chips, Coke Zero, no sugar, and wait for it. This is the game changer. Classic Angus with an extra patty and Big Mac sauce. That's hectic. We'll eat these first. This is going to be a pre-workout meal. I've already had 2 bananas, a bit of coconut water and some honey. And then it's back time, baby. Alright, look at this. This is hectic. This is the secret. It's probably gonna bloat me and make me sluggish, but I reckon the pumps are gonna be sick. We'll get rid of this because we don't need that. Struggling. So, we've gone to Melbourne. Took us about 1 hour and 20 to get here. Bit of a mission. And the reason why I went to Melbourne is this. It was to get a new head unit because when I bought it, this was busted and the guy paid for it, which is good. So now I can actually listen to music and have a reverse camera. So we got that installed. We've had some McDonald's. We've had this. We've also had this. And now it's about 40 minutes, 50 minutes to the gym. So I'll sip on that. I had that when I was driving up to Melbourne. Get the energy in. Also the Maccas, I had some Coke Zero. So we'll let the food digest while we're driving. 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And then it's time to train. And then after we train, we'll probably head to the beach, get some sun, some vitamin D, and go for a quick dip. So, yalla. The large meal with the classic Angus with the extra patty and Big Mac sauce and the salt on the chips, the sodium, all the bad and the good stuff is going to give us a good pump, I think. So if you want to try that next McDonald's meal, I'm telling you, you need to try it. It's crazy. So see you soon. All right, first exercise we have is the lat row, and all I'm trying to do here is just pull my elbow down into my hip, shoulders down, and not bring my elbow past my body. So there it is. No massive big stretch, and trying to minimize getting my traps involved, just making it all that. You know, I think with these, like lat rows, I think it's okay to use your shoulder and retracting it. So I think next time I do this, I'm going to use my shoulder and retract it to get a little bit of trap with it too, because it's still going to hit the lat and it's going to work a bit more overall back. So that's going to be my adjustment next time. This is the panada row. It actually feels pretty delicious, not going to lie. And we are at the OG gym where I first used to train at in 2012, where it all began. It's just a lot bigger now, and it's definitely one of my favourite gyms, just because it's like home, you know, and you can't beat that feeling. And they've upgraded equipment and stuff, so it's like win-win all round. Here we are on the second set, using the straps this time because I feel like I can get more reps and I don't feel it as much in my forearms. I've always used straps. My forearms have always been pretty big, so I don't really need any more focus on that. So you can see my scapula and shoulders aren't really moving. And like I said, I think next time I'm gonna allow them to move and make it one big movement so I can kill two birds with one stone, if you feel me. It's pretty heavy, this machine, not gonna lie. And it's even harder when you're not using momentum and your back swinging it and pulling your chest up and leaning back like I see 6,000 million other people do. If you keep your chest on that pad and just pull down, it becomes a lot harder. So if your back's cactus and you do those kind of techniques, then I suggest you stop that and just try keep your chest on that pad and use nothing else but your back. And imagine you're pulling yourself through the machine, nothing else. And I see my head is in a downward motion, pointing down. So it actually should be neutral, looking at the horizon. And I've said it before, but I keep forgetting this. So there's a critique for myself. Stupid me. So that this time, I'm going to show you a different angle. How it's going to pull straight into my hip. With a panada, it's good because you can use your leg and it lifts up the handle for you, so you're not overstretching and wrecking yourself. So straight down, see that? Long limbs, skinny boy. Once again, my head should be up, not tilted down. Damn it. And it's just one set on this side because that's my weak side. So 3 working sets for the left side, 2 working sets for the right side. And that's how we do it for the weak side. So second exercise, you know what it is? Reverse pec deck. Just focusing on the rear delts and trying to get no trap involved. There will be a little bit, like I've said, but we just want to isolate those rear delts. You can't have big enough rear delts, in my opinion. If you've got massive rear delts, you look like you're 3D. I think that's the secret to big shoulders, is having huge rear delts. Everyone I've seen with massive rear delts, they look round and it looks pretty sick, to be honest. All right, second set here, different angle. See where my hand placement was? I went to a neutral grip just to see how that felt on my left shoulder. Puts a bit of pressure on your wrist because it's just metal straight on there, but it is what it is. It actually felt pretty good doing it this way, not gonna lie. And I've been enjoying really just isolating those rear delts, because like I said in the last program, I was doing quite a bit of traps and they definitely started to take over on my back. So now it's focusing on my lats and rear delts, giving the traps a bit of a break, because it trapped me doing traps. There's a basketball court right there. So if you get bored, you just watch people shoot 3-pointers. And notice too, I'm almost flaring my elbows out and not pointing downwards. That's going to isolate them even more. I'm pushing my shoulders forward too, so they don't come back with the scapula. All right, third exercise is the preacher hammer curl. These feel really good. So if you've got this preacher machine, try hold it the hammer way. Hammer way. As you can see, the forearms and the brachialis is working pretty good. Always start with my weaker side. You can see the McDonald's has woken up the veins. When I was competitive, I used to be pretty vascular all the time. And now that I'm not as juicy, they're not as hectic. They're still there. They're just not as full and pumped up. But they'll always be there. I'm going to start uploading some old training videos too, to show you what I used to do and what I looked like back then, because it's sad. Watching my physique go from massive to just, better than natty. Nah, that's just a body dysmorphia coming out. All right, second set on the preacher, and just one extra set for the left side, not the right side, because the left side is 1/2 inch smaller, so we're giving it more love. All right, second exercise for the pipes. and I've only filmed the left side because the camera angle on the right side was absolutely cactus and you couldn't see a thing. This is still pretty cactus too because my tripod's not that tall. But this machine feels pretty amazing and it isolates the biceps pretty goddamn well. And it looks like I'm not going all the way down, but the pin is almost hitting the stack. And when I straighten my arms, it's almost like it looks like they're not fully straight. Maybe because there's more tissue there. All right, one of the greatest machines of all time, temporarily not in use, but it's in use for me. So, still works good, enough not to break me. And I've put 2 5-kilo plates on there because otherwise it absolutely wrecks my feet pressing with the heavy weight. And this is my favorite calf exercise and machine. Calves are pretty boring. I do them twice a week. Sometimes I don't film them because they're just boring to watch. So these have grown my calves the most out of anything, and I've got so much more compliments now than I did back in the day when they were 19 inches. They're 17.5 inches now. And all I do is come up halfway, go on the stretch for 5 seconds, hold it, come up halfway. And I'm telling you right now, this is the best way to train your calves. They did a study, and I've said it once before in my videos, but there was a group of 3 girls, and the girl group that did half reps from the bottom up grew twice as more than the other groups that were doing full range of motion or just the top end range of the exercise. My left ankle is also more flexible than my right because I've absolutely busted my ankles over the years with my dirt bikes and stacking. So I always start with my right calf, not the left, because that needs more focus and it's half an inch smaller than my left. So left arm, half an inch smaller, right leg, calf, half an inch smaller. Left lat is a little bit smaller than my right. So I'm always trying to be symmetrical. That's just the OCD in me. And maybe you should focus on that too, if that's what you want. Righto, so last exercise, usually it would be a seated leg curl, but there's people on it and I just wanted to hurry up and get out of here. And it's the standing leg curl. Haven't done these in a minute. And people say they're not optimal, but hey, look, you can see my hamstrings working pretty good here. Also to note, I have torn my hamstring, not fully off the bone, but I tore it when I was in America. And I'd had a night out before that, so I was pretty dehydrated, and I went to sprint. And 3 or 4 meters into that sprint, and bang, it went. So it looks a little different compared to my left leg. This is my left leg, you'll see. There's a bit more going on here. A few more lines, because the right one, it's more high up because it's been partially torn. So it was still bruised for like 6 to 8 weeks. So if you ever tear a muscle, make sure you train it. If it's not fully off the bone, it's just a partial tear, it's bruised. Just do light weights. You can even use some BPC and TB500. Really light weights until you can go heavy again. But do not rest it fully. That's the worst thing you can do. Use blood flow restriction training as well. That helps heaps. Look it up. Maybe I'll do some videos on here. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Peace out. Catch ya.